G'day everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Apio Puzzles. And today I'm going to continue my journey into the world of British cryptic crosswords, which I have avoided for many years on account of their apparent difficulty and their frequent reference to all sorts of local British knowledge. But I think it's time that I get into this, and I did the Guardian Quiptic last week to ease myself in. It was pretty approachable. So I'm going to try the same again today from yesterday's Guardian. There'll be a link to the puzzle in the description if you want to give it a try yourself. And you can see at the top here where I'm scrolling what clue I'm on. I may inadvertently, as I'm going, scroll the browser, which will move the grid as you can see it. So I'm going to try to notice if that happens. Hopefully it doesn't. Now, let's start with one across. Bands take LSD with energy in empty stadiums. Well, LSD could be acid, empty stadiums SS, energy E, take acid could be drop, bands would probably be the definition. What's the word I'm thinking of? Censures. That's not quite right. So one down. Saint over a long period of time is most judicious. Wow. Stage. Oh, sorry. It's 6 letters. I thought it was 5, and I was like, that doesn't. Steon and stage and so forth don't work. So hang on. A long period of time is most judicious. Safest, sagest. Okay, so we have the saint is going over or around, another word for a long period of time, which is ages, and sagest is the most judicious. That does confirm the S there. 9 across. Menial worker taking pound from e.g. Tiger Woods. Yeah. Wow, I didn't know this was the spelling. Interesting. So a gopher is a menial worker. I would have always thought it was a PH. An abbreviation for pound is an L. This comes from I guess the French originally, libre or livre, meaning pound. And a golfer is Tiger Woods, and so we take the L from golfer to get gopher. So far we're doing okay. 2 down. Religious education, have I moved the grid? No. Religious education class mends their ways. So RE would normally be religious education. Class, mend their ways. So mend their ways seems like the definition. We need a 4-letter word for class, and it means mend their ways. Not sure about that. Let's see if we can get 11 across. Tactics in games start going wrong. 10 letters. Strategies. Looks like the answer. Is that not right? I've missed a letter. Strategies. So tactics is strategies. In games start going wrong. So game start is an no, it's not. It's going to be stratagems, which is an anagram of game start. So 3 down. Split up clocks, perhaps. They don't always work. Well, this is part-timers. That's a nice clue. So split up is to part. Clocks are timers, and they don't always work. People who are part-time don't always work. Smart leader of the police. This is sting, as a classic kind of double definition. To smart is to sting. You see smart come up a fair amount in cryptics to suggest something around sting. It's a nice synonym pairing that's the word sting is quite opposite or quite different from what you'd naturally think as a synonym for smart. So it leads to good opportunities for misdirection. Now, is that straps with something in it? Was it something to do with bands or something? Yeah. Bands take LSD, energy, so trip, okay. So not drop, but trip is to take acid, take LSD, with energy for E, inside empty stadiums, SS for stripes, which are bands. Nice. Well, this one here, we're going to need to maybe it's refurb. Mend their ways. Or refurl, but what's the word for class? I don't think verb means class. Fair. Is that a word? Refair? Maybe. That could also be derived from the French verb to do. And fare as a class on a train. Not confident in that. Let's leave it for now and see what we get later on. Well, we're not going to get any more letters, but we'll see what our brain's doing later on. By our, I mean mine. Settled how none is dressed by Edward. So by Edward is going to have an ED at the end for Ed, and we're looking for a verb that means settled. How none is dressed, so inhabited. So none is dressed in a habit, and inhabited means settled. 5 across. Help for referees, it includes an alternative form. Well, help for referees would be, is it VAR, video assisted refereeing? It includes an alternative form, so variant, so it including an is IT with an in the middle to give variant, which is an alternative form. Speaking of variants, I quite often solve variant Sudoku on the channel, so watch out for those if that's your interest. Now 5 down. Fierceness shown by assertive he-men, certainly. So this from the letter pattern is very obvious. Vehemence and assertive he-men, certainly. This is a hidden. Sorry, it isn't V. It's vehemence. So this is a hidden. We have VE. It's doing its thing where there we go. Vehemence. You can see all letters written in the middle there. So shown in this string is that string, and fierceness is vehemence. So 6 down. If this is not solvable, we're in trouble. Massage Sally's back, which is a deep red. So rub is massage. Sally's back is the back letter of Sally for Y, and a deep red is a ruby colour. Disaster affected cat, dog, and fox losing tail. 323. Act of war, I guess. So cat is being rearranged at the front there. I think it's being rearranged by the word affected, and then dog and fox losing tail. Is it an anagram of cat? Maybe, act of God. That makes more sense. So it is an anagram of cat, dog, and the word fox without its X, without the tail letter. So cat, dog, foe, rearranged, act of God, which is more of a disaster than an act of war. Arguably not, but hairdo, Dr. Faustus has pinned back. Yeah, this is Afro. This is another one of these hiddens but it's in reverse. So pinned backwards, this expression here has pinned inside of it going backwards, A, F, R, and O for Afro. Oh, there I go with my scrolling of the browser. That's better. Now, we're doing well here. 8 down. Better than my LR this morning, by the way. Check it out. It's a cool puzzle, but gosh, I struggled. Now, little swimmers bit people from Warsaw, say. Tadpoles, okay. And poles are people from Warsaw, and a bit is a tad. So that is that sorted. 14. Strange metaphors in Timon of Athens, say. Yeah, so an anagram of metaphors in, and we need to know what Timon of Athens was, or who they were. What word would go here? Ooh. We've got PHONE as or PHO something. E, foes, phone, vote. It's hard to do these anagrams without a pen and paper. I'll come back when I've got more letters. Where we're going to get those letters from. Let's go to 13. It's got a bit of a division there, which can help. Brighton and Hove Albion FC mostly play in Russia, so hopefully not requiring knowledge of these specific teams, but mostly play in Russia. I think play in Russia might be the... can't really see how Brighton and Hove could be the definition, but who knows. Actually, I don't really know what's happening at all in this. 10 letters. Maybe Brighton and Hove's abbreviates to BH or something. Then Albion FC. Some sort of anagram, I don't know. And then in Russia would be maybe a place in Russia. Can't say I am across that, so let's try 15 down. Girls from Madrid say modified assertion. That is senoritas. Got that from the definition, then realizing that assertion was a modification or an anagram of senoritas. Oh yeah, okay, so is this a misanthrope? That would fit, I think. So Timon of Athens apparently was a misanthrope, and I think that is an anagram. M-I-S-A-N looks like it. So and we get an H here, so that might be the... what about the Kremlin? If it was that... I mean, who knows? Or where am I getting a K from? Well, I can check the K actually with there we go, with this word, and if it is K, then it's basically got to be the Kremlin, more or less. So pro-drug smugglers getting signs of things to come. So 4 for pro. Drug could be E for ecstasy. Smugglers is runners, and forerunners are signs of things to come. So this is not the Kremlin, which is good. I have to try to figure out what that was supposed to mean. Probably is the something though. And it might be an actual play as well. But yeah, my knowledge in that realm is limited. 16. Declared an FBI agent protects business. FBI agent protects business. Declared. An FBI agent protects. Oh, is that is that maybe that's no, I don't know actually what's going on there, so we'll come back. 21. One's welcoming new name for pubs. That's just inns. So one's is INS, welcoming an abbreviation for new, which is N, and that is a name for pubs. 17. Chinese criminal gang admitting racket around West Indian Island. Chinese criminal gang admitting racket. So racket could be a din. Yeah, actually it could be that. Going backwards. And then West Indian Island. Well, I might have this slightly wrong actually. Oh no, that is right. So Trinidad being the West Indian Island, we have din inside a triad. And that's interesting. Or din going backwards. I wouldn't have understood triad to be a Chinese criminal gang. Maybe there's a specific gang called that, but the word triad is also a generic word. Well, yeah, so maybe that has a particular... Actually, while we're here, why don't we... triad Chinese... Triad is a Chinese transnational organized crime syndicate based in Greater China. So it's a generic word, it's not the name of a particular... Interesting, okay. On the Google front, by the way, it's obviously always useful and interesting to look these things up, but also as I venture into this world of more difficult, potentially British cryptics, I'm going to give myself the freedom to Google here and there as needed to try to not languish too much, because if you don't know a thing, you just don't know it. So, but that was a good get. 17, no, what am I trying to go? 27 is what I was trying to get to. Detective Sergeant drinking more rum, walks unsteadily. Sorry. I think of cidals. It doesn't fit, but it has this cider idea about it, which is alcoholic, but nothing to do with rum. So Detective Sergeant, I think, is going to be around the outside. Oh, this might be dawdles, but we don't have the R. Doddles, okay. Yes, so Detective Sergeant DS is around the outside. It's drinking more rum. Actually, it's not doddles, it's dodders. So rum is odd and more rum is odder. So rum's a fairly unusual word that means, at least in my everyday speech, I've never used it, but it comes up quite a bit in cryptics. And dodders. So we've got doddles, dawdles, and dodders. Dodders, dawdles, and I'm losing track, but there were 3 options there that might have fit, but 24 down. Starters of pork after lazily eating pasty. So this is pale. Very straightforward. Starting letters of those 4 words. Pork after lazily eating give you PALE. And of course in that clue there you're looking at the surface reading is eating a pasty, a physical pie, but as it's a misdirection on, we actually need to understand pasty as the adjective, being pale, like pasty skin. Let's go to 25, which looks very approachable. Crazy Tea Party figure. Well, this automatically then is the Mad Hatter. Forced to accept that crooked Republican. Very nice. So forced is made, M-A-D, and then the E down the track. And it's accepting crooked that, so that rearranged to give H-A-T-T. And then Republican is abbreviated to R. That's a great clue. The surface reading of that is so good. And it's funny because the Tea Party now, the automatic meaning of that is the Republican, I don't know how I'm going to refer to them, but the group of Republicans. And so, yeah, it's interesting that I guess, 20 years ago, any reference to Tea Party, you'd automatically think of the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. But nowadays you think of the Republicans, and yeah, great surface kind of idea that it all ties together so nicely. So we're left with 16 down, fully checked. Declared an FBI agent protects business. So affirmed. So an FBI agent protects business. So business is firm. A Fed. Right. A FBI agent is a Fed, and that's around a firm for business. So that wasn't too difficult. 22. France's very old-fashioned king, one invading others' lands. Well, very old-fashioned king, one invading others' lands. Ugh, so tricky on that. 23. Fortified wine is knocked, or wine's knocked back in a bad mood. So I was going to say something like this, with the fortified wine being port. That doesn't. Sorry. Oh. Well. But, so if this went backwards, we'd have that. Strop. Oh, I see. The apostrophe S gives us the S, and then so port apostrophe S knocked back is strop. Too easy. 28. Rifle poorly held by knight's assistant. Feels like an anagram of rifle inside of a short abbreviation for knights, but the P doesn't seem to. Poorly held, maybe an anagram by knight's assistant. I'm not sure what a knight's assistant is. I thought that maybe assistant was the definition. Don't know, so let's come back around. 20. Kind of coffee female hip-hop artist hasn't finished. That could be hard. I think I'm going to need to find a hip-hop artist, take off the final letter, and it gives us a type of coffee. Now that could be a type of bean, it could be a style of coffee like latte, mocha, frappe. Actually, right, yeah, so female is F, and then rapper is hip-hop artist. So we don't need to know any hip-hop artists today, thankfully. And rapper is unfinished, and that gives us frappe. Perfect. Advanced complex maths generating complaint. Complex maths generating complaint. That's an unusual clue, just in the sense that I see. Advanced can apparently be abbreviated to A, and then maths anagrammed by the word complex gives us a complaint. So 26 was still in place. You heard drams swallowed hot, not cool. What does dram mean? Swallowed hot, not cool. So we need so we need a word for not cool. Unhip. I think it will be. And a dram is an unhip. UNIP. I wonder if that is a British reference. Some sort of uni P. Or maybe I'm just wrong. Not cool. Really feels like unhip. Well, hang on. I see. You, her. I'm forgetting about the. Well, no, yeah, not processing things very well. I think originally I was thinking that you heard was a homophone indicator. So it could be that unip is a misspelling of something that means dram, but it could be you heard being the U at the start and then a dram being a nip. Let's have a look at that. I reckon that's probably it, but Scottish, a small drink of whiskey or other spirits. So yeah, a nip of whiskey. There we go. So that's the kind of thing that I'd never in a million years be able to get without the help of Google, but now hopefully I'll know next time. Next time, gadget. Next time. 13 down. Yes, this was this Russia thing. I still don't think I'm confident about getting that. So we're coming close to the end here, but can we get over the line? Rifle poorly held. Actually, a rifle might be a gat being rearranged poorly, so that's poorly held by knight. An assistant. Is it a progate? Is that an assistant? Might not be a gat. It could be some other type of gun. Or it's a rifle. So if we ignore that and say what is an assistant, I don't know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's okay. 22. France's very old-fashioned king, one invading others' lands. There's some words that aren't coming to mind that would be obvious. Things like settler and yeah, it's weird how your mind can go blank. Well, these are all I've got. Well, let's come up to here for a second and give our mind a break from that corner. Religious education, that would be E. Class mend their ways. And I thought it was re-fair. Class. See if it's right at the end, I think. So I'm really stuck down here now. This seems like the one I've got the best chance on, having the first letter particularly. Rifle. And this knight business. Could a knight just be at the word peace? Like in well, I just saw that and thought, pie face is a word, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the name of a business. And I don't think peace would be synonymous with knight. You'd have to say knight, for example, or knight. Yeah, knight, for example. Maybe poorly can abbreviate to P, but that doesn't held by. Okay, so we'll try this one, and if we don't get it, we will move to the interweb to see what we're missing. Brighton Hove Albion FC mostly play in Russia. So I'm thinking THE, right? So have to be THE, but it feels likely. No, I don't think I'm going to get there. So, well, annoyingly, most of these clues, it seems like there's going to be lots of options for these various masks. So P, A, and E. Let's have a look if we can find. I can think of at least one or two words that fit there. And it looks like there's not too many that are common. And, well, also then it's either a rifle or a knight's assistant or an assistant. Plug 8. That's got gat in it. Yeah, that might be it. And is it? Let's look up. So this being a G. Wow. Yeah. Plagate or plagos. So I think it must be plagate. Let's see what that means. I'm not sure you can see. You can't, but it is having plaggy or irregular elongated spots of colour. That does not sound reminiscent of the clue. Let me put you in the right place as well. So if it's not plagate, is it plagos? Fond or flogging? Wow. So I don't think it is one of the GAT words. Let's have a look for types of. I could have done. Well, I could have done 3-letter word, but it could be. Can't I just say? Maybe I've got to actually put it in. Gun. Uzi. Gat. Get. Alright, so might have to look for this Russian play. S3U. Oops. SU. And I'll put in the entire thing like that. The Seagull. Is that a play in Russia? It is a play in Russia. Good grief. I wonder if that's commonly known. But seagull it is, so maybe that'll help us to solve the others. And let's see how that actually passes. So, where is it? 13. Brighton and Hove. Albion FC mostly. The C. Is the C supposed to be Brighton and Hove? Albion FC. Yeah, see, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff there that it feels like I can't understand. Is gull something to do with? Oh, maybe the football club there is called the Seagullers or something. Or just the Seagulls. Wow, yeah, I bet that's what it is. So, football club, so the Seagulls. Football. Brighton Albion FC. There we go. So, another lesson learned. Pulsate. Pillage to rifle. I did think of rifle in that sense, but not so much as intense as pillaging. So let's see. Rifle pillage, poorly held, ill. So poorly held inside of a page who is a knight's assistant. Okay. So we're left with this one, which we've got an A for, which is not a great help. So this might be another Google job. France is very old-fashioned. Sorry, let's get this out of there. King one invading others' lands. Why can't I see what this is? RSASR. Let's try it out on one look. RSAER, I think it was. Oh no, there's another letter at the start. Oh, RSASR. Oh, trespasser. Right. Well, I was very much thinking more in the sense of settlers rather than trespassers. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to tell me whether I'm correct. I can check all. I'll do that in a second because I'm not sure about this refer. But to pass this, Francis, why did I not think of this? So that's foolish. So the word for very in French is très, and old-fashioned king. Passé is old-fashioned, and king is one of the abbreviations for king. So let's check all. And it's not refer. There we go. It removed that. So this is our last challenge. Will it take another half an hour? I was thinking maybe refurb. Class. Reform. Class is form, obviously. Just to go through those vowels in my head. Check all again. And confirm. What did I do? I put the wrong letter here. Strat. Is it an A or an E? 11. It must be an A. There we go. So now I think, not deleting any letters, we're done. So, well, just under 40 minutes, so not too bad. Got a little stuck on a few, and one or two that I think I could have gotten or should have gotten, or that I was slow with, but some others like the seagulls where, yeah, no chance I was ever going to get that. Yeah, that seems a combination of needing to know something about Russian plays, and I don't know how well known that is, but certainly for me, I've never heard of it, and also needing to know something about the British football team. I think that might even be tough for a British solver who doesn't follow football. In any case, there we go. Thank you for being with me. If I've misunderstood anything, do leave a comment. And of course, if you've liked this content today, I'm making a lot of it, so I'd love you to subscribe and come with me on the journey through both the British crosswords and all sorts of variety crosswords, regular cryptics, and variant Sudoku puzzles, the whole gamut. So thanks again, happy puzzling until next time, and I'll see you soon.